Welcome. We're grateful for a lot of people who have helped put this together and enable us to use the facilities. For instance, we're grateful to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints to allow us to use these facilities. And there are so many people who put a lot into all the recitals we've had. We moved around a lot, Laura and I did. The first, 30 years of our marriage, probably 11 times. And we've been living here now for 19 years. That's far longer than we've ever lived anywhere else. I've always wondered, and she's taught piano everywhere, but I've often wondered what would happen if she established a studio and could actually stick with it and stick with the kids and see where they would go. I think she would change lives. I think their lives would be positively affected. And I believe that's been the case. And so forgive the nostalgic look here now, since this will be our last recital. I hope you'll indulge us in just kind of looking back and seeing what's been accomplished here now. For a lot of reasons, we're grateful that you're here. Again, grateful to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints and the various leaders who have allowed us to use these funds, or these facilities. There are several people who are taking photography. Many of you have brought food for the potluck afterwards. Thank you very much for doing that. A lot of people put in a lot of work also in decorating. And I'm going to let Laura mention them specifically. We'd like to ask you for the same protocol that we've asked in the past. If you could, get your cell phones and put them on Do Not Disturb, or in some way make sure that they are not, we don't have to hear them during their performance. I will never forget going to a Van Cliburn concert at Bass Hall, and somebody's cell phone went off, and the performer stopped. He was playing the piano, and he stopped, and he started going like this, like, somebody please go over and pick up their phone, please. And no one wanted to stand up and say, hey, I'm the dirtbag. But finally, somebody did turn it off, and then the performer could go on. We don't want that kind of thing here now. So please make sure your phones are turned off. If any of you have small children as well, we'd appreciate it if you could make sure that you tend to them so that the recital pieces here don't interrupt their crying. That's what we want to make sure. With that, we'd like, and by the way, Mrs. Vincent's going to punctuate some of my comments here, because there are several people among the performers who have earned some rewards. And so once in a while you'll see me passing the baton to Laura, and she will announce who's won an award, and then we'll get right back to the program. Let's go ahead and begin if we could. We'd like to start with Lua Kruger, who's going to be playing Mary Had a Little Lamb. She is Laura's newest student, and Laura would like to speak after Lua finishes her piece. Usually a brief applause when they begin. They'll bow before, then we'll have a brief applause when they finish as well.
When she was 4 years old, she completed the Theory Time primer book, and so she's being awarded a medal, gold medal. Congratulations. also completed all of Twinkle's hand separate, so that's considered Twinkle Trophy material. So here is her first Twinkle Trophy that will be a great foundation for her future. Congratulations.
The next performer is going to be a singer. It'll be Emma Watt. Will be singing Joy to the World. Now I want to explain to you how this is going to work out. Emma's going to sing the first verse, and I'm going to be accompanying her on the organ. Once she finishes, we're going to launch into the fourth verse. Now, some of you, hopefully all of you can see that there are hymnals right in front of you there. You see these hymnals? It's hymn number 201, Joy to the World. And again, forgive the constant references to Christmas. This was supposed to be our Christmas recital, and we're hanging with it. We're sticking with the Christmas theme no matter what. We got frozen out. It's supposed to be December 22nd. We got frozen out on December 22nd, so it's January 7th. As far as we're concerned, we're okay. We're still kind of a Christmas celebration. Call it the Three Kings Extension Celebration. But Emma will be singing the first verse, and then the fourth verse, the whole congregation will be singing, and Valerie Vincent will be directing us.
Before we begin, this version used to have a little bit of a tricky ending, but we've changed it. So just sing it exactly like the hymnal says. Verse 4 is when you come in, and she's only singing verse 1.
Next up is Julie Don Relativo. She'll be playing Allegro by Shinichi Suzuki.
applause soon enough before the applause ends.
Okay, before you leave, I have little gifts for you. So when you perform, make sure you take them.
Next up will be Cabrini One, playing Greensleeves, the English folk song. One thing you'll notice in Mrs. Vincent's piano studio is an emphasis on ensemble work. Part of the Shinichi Suzuki method is to teach people to learn their music well enough that having another performer performing next to you is not going to distract you. In other words, learn to be part of an ensemble. So the kids do play with in ensembles. And you'll see some emphasis on that tonight in the recital. Now we have Flynn Case. He'll be playing Allegro by Shinichi Suzuki. The next two performers are not here, so we'll be skipping Sahir and Luke. Now we have Sarah Waldman, who will be playing Ariana by Wolfgang Mozart. pressure's on Carly, her sister, who will be playing minuet too. Next up, we have Vincent Tran, who will be playing Melody by Robert Schumann. And Mrs. Vincent will take some time right after he performs.
Vincent Tran has completed all of the pieces in Suzuki Piano School 2, and they are not easy. Actually, most students quit in book 2. That's how difficult book 2 is. So you think book 2 should be as easy as book 1, but it's not. So in the Suzuki world, we make sure that they learn all the pieces hand separate and together before they earn their awards. So congratulations to Vincent. He's earned his book 2.
Janine Relativo is next, and she'll be playing Cradle Song, Opus 3, number 2, by Carl Maria von Weber. I do celebrate my students' birthdays, but we never really sing happy birthday at the recitals. But because one of my students' birthday fell really close to our last recital date, I thought, okay, we're going to do a happy birthday song. And then that was, rescheduled to another date, and then that was rescheduled to this date. So I decided to just stick with the plan to sing happy birthday. And so if they're here, I know the George family couldn't make it, but Nicholas George, January 6th had a birthday. That's yesterday. Flynn Case has a birthday tomorrow. Come on up, Flynn. Bill Vincent on the 13th. Casey Hiddinger. 39.
He's turning 39, yeah, right.
Staying 39.
Casey Hiddinger, you've got to come up. Okay, Aaron Williamson. Is Aaron here? Not yet. Okay. Aaron is, there she is, coming up. Gabe George. Okay, anybody else have a birthday this month? Seriously, anybody? Because now we have extra cupcakes, and I can't eat them. Okay, so here's the deal. I'm going to play Happy Birthday twice. You're going to sing it twice, but there's going to be a little bit of a stop in between the first time and the second time, because I'm adding a little bit of a samba in the middle. So make sure we sing Happy Birthday, dear friends, not the name, because it'll take all night to name all the names, right? It's a birthday. Okay, let me get this ready. Everybody get ready to sing. Happy birthday, dear friends. Come on, sorry about that.
Now, you think she comes into this off the cuff? I swear, this is a true story. She plans everything. I went to bed like 11 o'clock at night, and this piano over here, you can actually put a headset in it, and so you can't hear the piano, but I can hear her hands plunking on there, and she was trying to sing, "Happy birthday, Johnny." She had this plan. She had this plan.
Yeah, you rescheduled 3 times.
Oh, yeah. She had plenty of time to practice. Okay. Next up is Diego Hittinger. He'll be playing Wizard Fantasy by Mary Lee.
Diego was one of our state champions this year, and he just learned that piece and just memorized it. So I'm excited for him to be enrolled in it in the competition again this year.
Next up is Haley Alejandre. Will be singing the Sonatina, or she'll be playing the Sonatina in C major, Opus 36, number 1 by Muzio Clemente. Next up is Sharon Del Pilar, Flight of the Morning Dove by Mary Lee. Next up, we have two songs that Mickey Zampek is playing, and one of them is a duet. So we got a 2 and 2 here. There's going to be Sonata in A major by Mozart. She's going to be playing on her own. And then she and Mrs. Vincent will play a duet, Sleigh Ride.
short play sleigh ride, I would like to ask Kimiko Zambik to come up. She's going to be helping us. And Luka Zambik also. So I apologize that you weren't included in the program, but they're going to be our helpers with the Clavinova keyboard and with, that's what Kimiko's going to help me with. And Luka's going to do the slapstick, so I hope you like it.
stands on its own. Mrs. Vincent doesn't perform that often by herself, but she's going to perform an excerpt of the Impromptu Movement 2 by Franz Schubert. Next up is Savon Northcutt. He'll be playing the Boogie Woogie Samba. And I had to have somebody school me on how to pronounce this. Anime medley. I see it and I see a name, but I guess it's anime, right? The anime medley by Brendan Kavanagh. We're grateful to have our next performer here. We had to share her with a professional ballet troupe. We weren't sure we were going to be able to have her here, and I'm glad she made it. We're all glad she made it. Ellie Williamson. She'll be playing O Boliquinello by Hector Villalobos.
I am going to be keeping in touch with each one of you before I, pack and go anywhere. So this is a goodbye, okay? But this is a time for me to share my heart and my gratitude for every one of you and the way you touched my life. And like I was telling Kimiko, she's a lifeline to my piano business here. It's not even a business, it's just more of family, literally. And I feel like there are many of you that are lifelines that are always supporting me in everything that I do. And I feel so blessed to stand before you and say, God allowed our paths to cross for a reason that is so glorious. This is why I'm telling you, I have a beautiful life. And I have a neighbor who lives right behind my backyard door, and he has helped me for hours. Joe Case, can you stand up? He has created, put together the videos, the pictures, and everything you're going to be seeing that you saw for 30 minutes here, and you're going to continue to see more during the dinner. So there is one quote that I probably shouldn't take the time, but just to tell you, music study, I read this in a music course. Music study is an alternative universe where pupils are often unrecognizable from who they are outside of it. The shy become confident, the agitated become calm, the lonely become included, the quiet become heard, and the lost become found. Music reveals the real child inside. Music has been a part of my life since I was 5 years old, and that was the only constant in my life, and it gave me a lot of peace. And so I hope that piano can bring you the solace that it can bring if you seek for it, because life doesn't always turn out the way we plan it. And so when we turn to other gifts that God has given us, like music, it can comfort the soul, it can make us be better than who we were without music. When I came to this country, I couldn't speak English. So for a while, I was just stuttering because I couldn't speak English or Spanish, because I would forget. And so I felt that piano really helped me to develop. There are several of you here, and I'd like Mary Kate Kenworthy and your husband to stand, because I don't think there's too many that did come. Yeah. Thank you. And Mr. and Mrs. Sanders in the back. Yes. Scott was supposed to perform, but he's majoring in music and he left January 2nd. So had we kept the last date, he could have performed for us, but he's no longer able to because he's back to school. So I have rich memories from every one of you that's in this room. And so I just want to thank you for that privilege and for being here, supporting my husband and I in this big transition in our lives. And I welcome all the new guests that are here too that have not been here before. So I hope you can enjoy the dinner. Please stay and watch and listen to our Mansfield Suzuki Piano Band. Today's the first day they're going to perform, so be easy on them. Thank you so much.